not an angry black man. I'm a very successful, educated black man with a great family. And I'm great at basketball. I'm great at what I do. The agenda to try to keep making me look like an angry black man is crazy. I'm sick of it. It's ridiculous.
I don't want us to lose the plot here. After receiving yet another technical foul for blatantly elbowing Minnesota Timberwolves big man Naz Reid, his fifth of the playoffs, performing a similar motion he has made to inflict pain on opponents throughout his career, Draymond Green said what he said to the media. Green is the same man who went after former teammate Jordan Poole in a scrimmage, a preseason scrimmage. The two jawed at one another, going back and forth, with Draymond yelling out during the practice. Consequently, Green would make a beeline to Jordan Poole, get in his face, and to create distance, Poole shoved him away. That's when Green pulled a Rafi Torres, left his feet, and put all his might into throwing a haymaker on Poole. He would wrap his elbow under Memphis Grizzlies big man Zach Edey's foot and trip him. He'd also deliver a hard foul on the 7'4" center. A 5-game suspension was handed down when he grabbed Minnesota Timberwolves center Rudy Gobert by the throat and yanked him away from a scrum. Not to mention, a 12-game suspension came because Green did a turnaround swipe at Phoenix Suns big man Jusuf Nurkic, striking him in the facial area. In another moment, Green committed a flagrant foul 1 in Game 6 of the first round against the Houston Rockets. He'd say he was, quote, embarrassed by the lack of composure, though he did not show it once again when doing the same motion on Houston Rockets guard Fred VanVleet. He'd receive another technical for this conduct as well. Let's also not forget, Green would be ejected for stomping on the chest of Sacramento Kings center Domantas Sabonis. The Warriors would go down 2-0 in that series. Another self-infliction was when he pulled down Los Angeles Clippers star Kawhi Leonard when he went up for a layup in the bubble. Honorable mentions, by the way, go to LeBron James, the Denver Nuggets' Nikola Jokic, Terrence Mann, Justin Holiday when he was on the Sacramento Kings, James Harden when he was on the Houston Rockets, Aaron Gordon, also of the Nuggets, and how could we possibly forget when Draymond Green would leave his feet to kick Steven Adams in the balls? But those are just some of the honorable mentions. There are highlight reels of Draymond Green's misconduct. Even ESPN's Jay Williams would speak out on this narrative Green is putting forth. Well, let's be clear. Draymond Green is not an angry black man, but he does have anger issues on the court. And those are two very different conversations. Stop conflating identity with accountability. In closing, I am not a fan of this at all. Not just the conduct, the kicking in the balls, the swiping, the going at opponents as jugulars, swinging motions, hitting them in the face, grabbing them by the ankle, stomping on the chest, going at their throat area, choking a player, etc. That's spoken for. I'm not a fan of Draymond pulling this. I'm just not. He is a great basketball player. A Hall of Famer, by the way. That's how good he is. He's going to be enshrined one day. And in his speech, he's probably going to make some funny jokes and we'll laugh about all of this. But this is serious because he is hurting players in the league. Some data also backs up that when he gets a technical or a flagrant, the refs take it easy on him because they don't want to escalate the home crowd or anything else happening by punishing him once more. The data shows it. So once he does this, he actually has a longer leash and is able to get away with much more. But what I don't like is, look, I'm successful. I'm educated. I have a good family. I'm great at the sport. I'm great at what I do. There's an agenda against me. My guy, we just went over all of your indiscretions. What agenda? I know he stormed out after he said this because he thought he had a bar there, but I would follow up if I were there. What agenda? Draymond, you choked Rudy Gobert. You stepped on the chest of Domantas Sabonis. You pulled down Kawhi Leonard when he was vulnerable in the air. You put your foot to a man's testes. Am I going crazy? What agenda? There is no agenda. We don't have an agenda. We have an assessment. You have given us the receipts. They're everywhere on the internet. If this was a sample size of 1, maybe 2, we'd be like, I don't know what's going on, but yeah, like maybe. And it was the criticisms that we've heard and seen of Draymond, like he's committed all these, but it was only 2. Yeah, I'd be on your side. But when we have an entire sheet of like 20 indiscretions, man, what are you talking about? You are a phenomenal basketball player. Phenomenal. You are so important to the Golden State Warriors. You are a great defensive player. You bring so much intensity. You bring an edge that this Warriors team has needed since they drafted you. But this is just weak, man. This is weak. We watch the games. We see what you do. I mean, like, it says a lot that, like, even Jay Williams is speaking out against this because it just doesn't make sense. It doesn't. And anyone who has watched this show knows where I stand on these issues. So for me to come out in this way, it's got to be crystal freaking clear. And it is. This is the wrong read by Draymond Green. The wrong read. I saw on his podcast, he's had some really bad moments with Baron Davis saying, like, I would have handled this better. I think sometimes you gotta prove a point. It's like, dude, we know. We've seen where you're coming from. All you want to do is prove a point. And it's really hard to argue against that you are going after people because you simply keep doing it. You are a liability. And now, potentially, you might have to serve a suspension in the playoffs when Stephen Curry is out for a week with a hamstring injury. This is another part that I think Draymond doesn't understand because he's gone away from the team. And I need to be very clear about this. I like Draymond Green. I think he's a really good player. I think he's an asset. When he went away, I think it was after the Nurkic debacle, there was this whole write-up in ESPN about how he's a changed man. He wanted to quit, but he came back and he learned so much. But he didn't. He keeps screwing up over and over again. And now, I mean, I'm seeing, I have ESPN up here. Shout out to Good Morning Football. I have them on the other screen. Their headline is the series over for the Warriors because Curry's out and Draymond's a liability. I don't like the way that we're going about this. And I don't like the way that Michael Wilbon has gone about this as well. Basically backing up what Green is saying, which is wrong. It's wrong. But it is what it is. When you have cultivated this sort of following and the fans who love you really love you, you're not going to hear any of the criticisms clearly that have been given to you over the years and say, you know what, maybe I do need to change some of my actions. No, because we're seeing it in real time. The man refuses to change. And what's going to happen? He's probably, if the Warriors move on, get suspended at some point because the T's and the flagrants are just going to add up. Hey, I appreciate you watching. Now, if you can, please do become a channel member by going to youtube.com/TYTsports and clicking the join button. If that's too much for you, you can just go to tyt.com/join to become a member. It helps all of us out here at the Young Turks and keeps our network afloat. In addition, you could follow me on my socials on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Appreciate the love. Have a great day. Calling out elite people in comedy should be the rule of thumb.
I think Donald Trump's hair is actually another creature.
Yeah.
The hair's like going, good night, Donald. Good night, Donald. Here we go.
Maybe it goes out. It goes out and makes money while he's asleep.
Yeah. There is something about punching down that feels taboo, and punching up is the way to go.
Crack's not really my thing, but if it was, it would be fine if I was on that side.
Wow.
Don Jr.'s on coke.
We won with poorly educated. I love the poorly educated. I'm a very stable genius.
It is very important, the work that the Jordan Kleppers are doing, the work that the Good Liars are doing, the work that our team here at the Turks are doing, and many more.
Used to see these tackles, now they tackle. Oh, head-on-head collision, bing, flag. Football's become soft.
You have Trump doing sound effects for tackles. The choice could not be more clear. Like, let's not beat around the bush about it.